I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Hello, konnichiwa minasan, it's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you genki? Are you feeling positive? Well, you won't be for long. No, I'm joking. Great to be here, great to be back. It's been a busy week, an interesting week. There are quite a few things I want to talk about today. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully, we've got somebody in the chat. I think it might be Nosferatu. How are you, Nosferatu? I'm not hyperbolic. I am hyperallergenic, but not hyperbolic. So, have you been having a good week? Do let me know how your week's going. But first of all, let's address the title. What is the title of this Wakizashi Waffles episode 9? It's YaST, Y-A-S-T. Do you know what that stands for? I'll tell you. Here we go. Yet another setup tool. Talking about myself, of course. I'm continuing my trend of using the computer terminology. I love these abbreviations. Last week, I think I did one beginning with Z, Z, as we say in the UK. Z? What the heck's that? Z, Z, and so I thought I'd do a Y. Now, yet another setup tool is a Linux operating system setup and configuration tool. There we go. I bet you've always wanted to know that, haven't you? Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Nosferatu and Salty. Salty Travelling Sea in the chat. Great to see you, Salty. How are you, man? You beat me too with that comment. I was just about to explain. There we go. Gray is wearing his slim, sexy, long-sleeve shirt. It's truly Christmas. It's actually my polo neck, Nosferatu, but I turned it down because I got a bit paranoid. Does that look better? Like that? Turned up. Do let me know. Turned up, turned on, tune in, tune out. What was it? Turn on, tune in, drop out. That's the way it goes. Yeah. I'm kind of paranoid now, so I'm going to turn it back down again. There we go. So what has been happening? It's weird. I'm doing this on OBS. I'm doing it on OBS, so it's all like, it's a one-man show as usual, as like Salty himself loves to say. So yeah, please forgive any bloopers, pauses, moments of silence. I did come in with a plan, you know, but it's weird when you actually click go live. There's so many things that can go wrong that you kind of playing catch up, checking it's working, checking this is on and whatever. But yeah, so let me bring the chat up on my phone. Here we go. Yeah, I'm feeling better today, and I'll let you know why in a minute. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenging week. Not for any particular reason. I don't know. I was talking about this on one of my blog posts. Yes, self-promotion. I do have a blog. I've got a WordPress blog called Wakizashi's Reviews. I had to change it to Wakizashi's ', reviews. Otherwise, people think I'm talking about short swords. Short Japanese swords. Know a lot about those. No, I don't really. Okay, let me get my channel up on my phone. Turn the volume down. Oh no, I should leave it up for a minute. Let's see how we're sounding. What swords? Short Japanese swords? Isn't it weird? When you hear yourself, like, that's really weird. Let's see what Salty's saying about blogs. Blogs are so 1999, Gray, says Salty. I know. You know, I started it, when was it? I think I started mine properly in 2016. 2015, I did a couple like beer review posts. It started off as a beer review blog. And then I moved on to yet another book review blog with a focus on sci-fi. Yeah, mainly sci-fi, but some fantasy. And I had a year of PKD, Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick. I love saying that name. I was doing Philip K. Dick reviews, doing one each month for a year, plus at the same time reading Philip K. Dick's incredibly long and ridiculously verbose exegesis. Exegesis, or is it exegesis? Oh my God, Philip K. Dick. So yeah, that's how it began. So we're looking good, aren't we? Does it look better down or up? What do you reckon? I know Nos seems to get excited when I turn it up, turn my collar up and go for the proper debonair, is it debonair? Timothy Dalton style. I used to look a bit like Dalton when I had my ski cap on, skiing once. Yeah, listen to me. I used to ski when I was young and fit. Not in the UK though, because we don't have mountains, we don't have snow hardly. But yeah, since I came to Japan, I learned how to ski at 30, and I tell you what, Thought I was going to die the first few times. Bloody hell, especially getting on and off the chairlift. What a nightmare that was. Yeah, but I'm okay now. I can ski, kind of. But yeah, where are we going? What's going on? In the chat, we also have Jana, Jana Banana. Great to see you. What is up, boners? Nosferatu deleting messages. What's going on? Nosferatu, shall I take your wrench back off you? Don't go home crying to mummy if I do. Yeah, good evening. Cobra, Gray looks like he's about to get in a fight. And then do some beat poetry. I will, I will if you want. I can do that. Do a bit of poetry. No, everybody screams. Don't do it. But yeah, what has been going on? Let's see. I want to get ready to share screens. So, Nosferatu, what are you doing deleting people's messages? Jesus. Where are we? Anyway. I've got one thing to show you. First of all, I want to share this, so just bear with me a second. Get back to window capture. Window capture's there. Right. Let's make me small and put me in the corner like baby. Nobody puts Grey in the corner. Oh, shall I go up here for a change? Oh, it's weird being up high. That's pretty cool. I've got one thing to say, folks, and it is, I was right. Here we go. I want to play a very brief clip from the wonderful Film Threats. And congratulations to 100,000 subscribers, which they hit today. Film Threat, Chris Gore. This is his, it's opening to, finally, his review of Godzilla -1. Here we go. Just bear with me a sec. Oh, where's my headphones? Headphones? Who needs headphones?
And guess what? And we'll see with the test of time. For my money, this is the best Godzilla movie ever made.
Let me continue a little bit.
For a couple reasons. One is you're fully engaged in the human story. The story of the human characters is just as compelling as the threat of Godzilla.
There we go. Just wanted to say that. Gray was right. I don't know anything about Godzilla movies. I've only seen a few in my short time on this earth, 50 years. But when after I dropped the video review and I started getting the first few comments, most of them were fine. Quite a lot were people telling me about Godzilla lore, which was very interesting. But quite a few were saying, oh no, really, it's the human story is important. Oh, I just want to see monsters fighting. And hey, if you want that kind of movie, go watch Godzilla vs. Kong, like the new one, or the recent one, or go watch the Godzilla, maybe not the 2014 one, because they don't show that much, do they, in that? Go watch the, what was it, Legacy of Monsters, that one too. But what makes this movie so good is a really strong human story. And Godzilla, just adds to that. So it makes the scenes even more impactful because you've got this real feeling of stakes. You've got a connection to these characters, which are well written, well played. Yeah, a little bit over the top, which I've talked about before. That seems to be one of the acting styles, not of all Japanese or Asians, Koreans, not of all, but a little bit of the anime exaggerated screaming, shouting, crying boy role. But yeah, it's such a good movie. And if you get a chance to see it on a big screen, and even more if you get a chance to see it on IMAX, please do so. I couldn't see it on IMAX, but I think Angry Canadian did, and he was saying it was amazing. The sound design, the sound recording, not just the soundtrack, it is so good. So yeah, do that, do see it. But I was just so happy to hear. I mean, I've seen the first few reactions and reviews from people I still watch on YouTube, trying to see what their initial reaction is, and it's overwhelmingly very positive, hugely positive. So yeah, happy to see that. Gray was right. No, that's not really about that, but I just wanted to point out, you need the human drama, you need the human story to make these sci-fi or fantasy, whatever, stories have more impact. You need that. You need to relate to a character. Otherwise, why do you care? Why do you care about the story, the film? You need that. You need some kind of relation to it. And guess what? That doesn't mean the characters have to be, you know, white 50-year-old British polo neck wearing, you know, fools to still relate to a character in a made-up story, in a movie. So it's so good, and seeing these initial reactions has only made me want to see it again, even more, and hopefully I will. I'm going to do it. If it's still playing, from what I've heard in Japan, they're going to keep it playing up to at least New Year to take advantage of the winter holidays, you know, the New Year holiday. They don't have Christmas holidays here, but it's the New Year is the big thing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go, and I want to take my daughter. Ooh, nearly said her name then. Oh my God, you know her name in the chat. You know my name, but hopefully go and see it with her and see what she thinks as a now grown up lady. There we go. Okay, anyway, let me get back to the chat. Where are we? I'm missing everything. Fear Monarch, thanks for dropping in, mate. I really appreciate it. You have a good sleep, and yeah, good luck with work. I do hope you can see the movie. Do go and see it. I'm trying to catch up. Gray, you said all this, says Salty. I know, right? I know. Hey, but what do I know? I'm just a fool. I'm just a fool. I need a Chris Core link right about now, says Copa. I'm Batman. Copa, have you seen it yet? Come on, you're joking, aren't you? Have you seen Godzilla -1? I know it's only just opened, and as far as I know, it's only getting a limited release. Is that right? I don't know what that means. Of course, it means it's not going to be everywhere. It's not going to be easy to see in certain areas of the States. I also heard that the UK have to wait until the 15th, I think, if that's the Friday, whatever the weekend around the 15th is. So they've got to wait another 2 weeks. Good grief. But yeah, it's not about, you know, being right or whatever. It's about recommending a movie that I thought maybe, you know, maybe it's just me. Well, not just me, but it's like I was blown away. And it wasn't just the effects, which are amazing, or the music. It was like I haven't been moved by a story like that in a long time. And it has to be the good writing, the good acting, the characters, the main theme of trauma which goes through that. And it's a dark movie, you know, it's scary to start with. I know we talked about it before, I'm not going to go on too long, but when you first see the smaller version of Godzilla before he's been mutated, it's frightening as hell. It's like it's like the best part of Jurassic Park, you know, the best part of the first movie, where it's just this horrifying attack, and at night it's terrifying, and whatever they do, they can't stop this thing, you know, this unstoppable force. And that's before he's absolutely huge. So yeah. Okay, enough about Godzilla. I know you've heard all this before, but just very glad to hear that. Chris Gore, who is actually a huge Godzilla fan, you know, he's been watching the Japanese movies. I think he's seen most of them. He loved it. And so did Alan Ing. He'd already seen it, and he said it's like probably one of his best movies of the year. Chris Gore said it's in his top 10. So yes, there we go. I wanted to share that. Okay. What is next? Where are we? Talk a little bit about Gray. Poor little Gray. Is he all right? Are you not worried about me? I am. I'm really worried about me. Let's try and make this a bit bigger. How do we do this? Well, you don't have to read it really, but I don't want to make myself too small, if you know what I mean. Big thanks and shout out to Salty. I think Salty actually went over and read this on the So 1999 WordPress blog that I've got. But you know me, folks. You know Gray. I'm normally very, very chipper, very positive. But I don't know. Recently, I've been feeling like, feeling a bit not down. It's not the right word. Just feeling like there's something going on, and a little bit like with the Godzilla movie, we have got no control over this thing that's going on, and whether it's an attack or just a general malaise, of not just this country, because Japan, I don't know if you know this, it doesn't look like it where from my end, but Japan is in a big slump, a big recession. It's been in that for pretty much since I've been here. You know, salaries and bonuses and things like that are long a thing of the past. Not salaries, but salary rises. You know, that's not been happening for years over here. And the price of things hasn't been going up too much when you compare it to, say, the States. When I heard recently about the price, not just of living, of rental, of apartments, you know, in America, the price of goods I've got one of my private students and a buddy as well, a mate. He just got back from a trip to the States. Now, he only went to, it was a business trip. He went to Las Vegas for a conference and also San Francisco. So you got two big mixes, like two, what's the right word, very different places, of course. But he was saying he was so surprised by how expensive everything was. Now, part of that is because the Japanese yen, the yen, is so low. Japan is wrecked at the moment. But he was like, wow, like 2,000 yen for not for a beer, but yeah, maybe for a beer, almost 2,000 yen. 2,000, that sounds a lot, but it's like, what is that in dollars now? I can't be bothered working it out. I go to a bar here and it's like 500 or 600, give you an idea, for a beer. I'm not talking about a pint. They don't do pints, but for a glass of beer, it's been 500 yen for years since I've been here. Depending where you go, you might pay up to 600. So yeah, but he's like, Jesus, like 2,000 yen for just, what was it? Not for a meal, it was more than that, yeah. Just crazy prices, basically, so. Jeez, I'm all over the time. I don't even know how we got here. What are we talking about? Yeah. John a Banana, most bands over the Beatles. Whatever. Just because you've got no taste in music doesn't mean I don't still love you. I like you. Careful, Gray. Cope will be getting angry. Gray, you'll feel better about the holidays if you get in a fight in a Waffle House and win. Could do. Yeah, I've not had a good proper fight for a long time. Nosferatu says, I want to watch Gray play Yakuza 0 to prove he lives in Japan. By the way, if you notice my background, I've not got the lights yet because we don't have any. I've got to buy some new ones. I put up the Christmas tree this morning. That made me feel better as well. That was a good thing. Welcome to the stock report with Gray. Yeah, I'm all over the place, aren't I, with this? This is crazy. Of what I missed. John a Banana was timed out by Nosferatu the vampire. Nosferatu, what are you doing? He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's out of control. Out of control. So, let me just read a little bit from this. Keep calm and carry on, as they say. A different post to my usual comic book or book reviews. Oh, I know, right? This might become a bit of a ramble. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just a little bit. These days, I feel like it's taking more and more effort to keep focusing on the positives. The confounding and crazy thing is, there's no specific reason that I can identify for this feeling. Well, not that I can see. I have my health, just about, my family, what's left of it, my friends, 1.5 maybe, a home and a job. I'm truly grateful for all of these things. Now, I mean that, I am. But there's still this underlying sense of, I don't know what to call it, like malaise, if I'm being fancy, ooh la la, or like a darkness, like a big negativity. And it reminded me of Morpheus, one of the many lines in the original Matrix and the best Matrix movie. You know that there's something wrong with the world. You don't quite know what it is, but it's there in the background, like a splinter in your mind. But chipper, positive Gray is usually able to ignore this feeling, keep calm and carry on. But lately, it feels like it's taking more effort to do so. There we go. I stopped watching the news, especially TV news, during the days of the Wuhan lab leak, whatever that is, and the hysteria that followed that. A lot of the hysteria was caused, as you very well know, by the mainstream media's coverage of said event. Remember when they told us that we're all about to, cease to be, to go to meet our maker, to become a stiff, bereft of life, to rest in peace, to be pushing up the daisies, to kick the bucket, shuffle off this mortal coil. I do. Tell you what, just recently, as you can tell, I watched the Monty Python's Parrot sketch. I've been watching some of the best ofs, and man, it is still a classic. It's so good. See John Cleese deliver this great sketch, these great lines, and Eric Idle as well, of course. No, it's not Eric Idle though. It's Michael Palin. Michael Palin is the storekeeper in the pet shop. But yeah, by the way, on that note, I recommend at least one dose of Monty Python once a week, at least, or maybe three times a week if you can. Avoiding the TV news definitely helped me feel better back in the when was it, 2019? And I always had this problem, by the way, again, I'm all over the place, but when the Japanese, the Fukushima disaster happened, when they had the huge earthquake and the tsunami, of course, the nuclear power plant meltdown, which the government were assuring us wouldn't happen, which did. At that time as well, it was, you know, man, you can imagine over here in Japan, it was 24/7 on the news. It was frightening. Didn't know what was going on. Even being absolutely miles and miles away from that area, to the side of the country, basically. TV news just love a bad story, don't they? They love a bad news, and they love to like really push it. But I've noticed it getting more and more ever since then. And it's not as bad over here. I noticed it a lot when I used to go back home to visit my mum and dad, or, you know, while they were still alive. Then the British TV news was just getting ridiculous. And especially during that recent thing, which can't be named, you know, whatever, the beer bug. So I think cutting down watching TV really helped. But the only problem is sometimes I'll miss a big story. I'll miss some news, what's going on, you know. Mrs. Wakizashi's like saying, like, what, you didn't hear? You didn't hear that, like, Australia has just, like, fallen into the sea? Where have you been? So I get most of my news now just from hearing on either podcasts or people talking about it on YouTube. You know, I see a little bit on the interwebs, and I take it all with a huge, huge pinch of salt, of course. When I look back at young Gray, God, I think, like, how naive I was, how trusting, you know, how ignorant. I had no idea, like, half of what was going on. And the more you find out, the more you hear about what could be, in quotes, could be happening, could be going on in, you know, in the world, the things that you don't hear about, and the things that get dismissed as, oh, one of those. Oh, you're one of those people, are you? With a tinfoil hat. The more you hear about that, Jesus, it can drive you insane. So it just feels like it takes a bit more effort to keep that in the background. Do you know what I mean? Or is it just me? Just me. There is no justice, just us. As that old song used to go. Hey, Nerdporial Lifeform in the chat. How are you, mate? Great to see you. Been a long time since we rock and rolled, baby. Going to be talking Star Trek, the original series. Nerdporial's possibly his favourite TV show. I'm speaking for you there, sir. Don't kill me. Can't wait for tomorrow. So do check that out. It'll be on my channel. I'm not 100% sure what time yet. I think it's going to be Nerdporial. You can correct in the chat. I think it's 8 p.m. Central. Could be. Which for me is 11 a.m. in the morning on Sunday. Zax and Nosferatu, what are you guys doing? Timing people out. Running the chat. It's unbelievable. Great to see you though, Nerdporial. Monty Python, sidewalk climbing. The Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks as well, folks. To be, I know, all over the place. I dearly, dearly love that too. But yeah, just to finish this up before I get back to you guys. Does that make me a cynic now? Yeah, probably it does. When this darkness descends... Oh, so poetic. I usually go out for a walk, if I'm able, or go for a cycle. I know it's a cliche, but giving yourself a dose of nature, I think, really does help. It always makes me feel better. My big bro, he gave me that recommendation as well. When things feel like they're on top of you, you feel like your world is starting to collapse. Just go for a walk and just focus on your steps. You know, just focus on the simple things. Just even listen to your heartbeat, whatever. Just get outside. Focus on something simple. Just walking. It does really, really help. And if you've got somewhere nice to walk by, like the Japan Sea or up the mountain, the local mountain, when the weather's okay, yeah, it really, really does help. Is it just me, guys and girls? Are you feeling this weird malaise as well? If so, please let me know what you do to deflect the darkness, to punch the pessimism, to beat the blues. I wrote that all by myself. Isn't that fantastic? And I got some really good responses from my blogging buddies, which of course are very few, far between. I've got a site which doesn't get very many views, but that's the way it goes. Hang in there. Have you considered getting a lamp with natural light? Fair enough. Or vacation somewhere on the other hemisphere. The shortening days are often always responsible for dipping in the mood, and that's true. There is a kind of winter blues theme to this as well. So I was like, yeah, thanks for that. I'd love to travel. Wish I could. I found that regular walks improve my mood immensely. Also getting a home exercise bike for when the weather's crap. Good point. Don't forget hobbies, exercise, and human connection. This is important. That's what one thing I'm missing, I think, is the human connection, which is one of the great things about YouTube. Even if we're only doing it through a screen, it's great to have you out there, and even if you are raging in my chat or calling me an idiot, I don't care. It's just great to have the interaction, great to have the company. This blogger went on to say, I must say that the state of the world really is shite, and it gets to me too. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you very much. Some weirdo called Salty here saying, great article, my dude. Thanks, Salty. Another one, sorry to hear you dealing with this. I'm sure it's part of it is a change in the daylight, the seasons, but there's a spiritual aspect to it as well. I don't usually pry or proselytize on others' blogs, but if you feel comfortable, what do you believe in? That's a good question. I didn't know what to say to that. And he's a good blogging buddy as well, who's very, very strongly Christian as part of his blog. I said I believe in my daughter, and I believe in human beings' potential. They're the first things that came to my mind. Another comment here from Alex saying, yeah, ditto on what you said, all the comments about going for walks. This is my favourite part, I sold my last care a few years ago and walk everywhere. And then he corrected it. I meant to say sold my last car, but I was like, I love sold my last care. It sounds like you're free. I'm free now, to go do what I want, be what I want to be. Ditto on the comments about hobbies, friends, and exercise. As for the state of the world, that's a harder fix. The news, much as social media, makes money off of bad news and negative feelings, rage, etc. The internet is largely designed to make you feel bad about yourself. Interesting. And the world in general. I just try to stay as tightly focused as possible, said this commentator and commented. That was good to hear that. Thank you. Thanks for the comment. And to focus is a good call. Again, getting outside is a great move. What is it? I've got this post here is from someone who comments on my comic book reviews, and he does his own comic book reviews. He blogs about all sorts of things. Paul, he's been saying he's losing faith in comics at the moment. And what a surprise, right? Oh, there go my headphones. I've kind of taken a break from comics, reviewing and reading them, to be honest. There's been so much negativity in that area, and I'm tired of all the arguing around comics at the moment. But it's also given the chance to do other things. Move back into writing about TV and movies. There we go. So yeah, that was another comment. So yeah, it's not just me, it seems to be. Final one, well, a couple more. I know the feeling. I don't think you need to follow the news closely to realise the world is heading towards some kind of rupture. Godzilla is coming, right, guys? I cope with it and try to focus on the day at hand, not the future. And that's an important point too. I'm usually pretty good about that. I usually try not to think too much about the future. Think about the future! Just try and focus on, the day, one day at a time. And the last one, I got a couple here from people who have not commented before. But yeah, saying the same thing. You're not the only one feeling this way. Lifting weights, exercising helps. Spending time with my son. And there was a good one here where acknowledging the positive things that you do have, that's helped. Also, he recommends a book called The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. Be careful out there with the comments. It does sound good, listen to this. It's a project where the author, Ross, he was going to write every day for a year about a delight he experienced that day. He said that this project, oh, so British, Graham. He said the project strengthened his delight muscle, in that he noticed more delights. I found that to be true with me too. So interesting, yeah? Okay, let me get back to the chat. Let's get out of here. Stop sharing that. Make grey great again. The Big G. Some people used to call me Big G, but now I think that's a nickname for Godzilla. What do you think? How are you doing? Big G. Shall we have a random clip? Here we go. If you're enjoying my language, by the way, let me share this with you. This is some proper Manchester English, just to remind you where I come from.
That was superb, that, lads. It really was. I've not seen reaction in here like that since George Best got kicked out for glassing a bouncer. But I know how you can be better, like that. You play, I manage. We all get stinking rich and famous and go and buy fucking great big houses in Cheshire. Job's a good one.
And who are you?
Rob Gretton.
Okay, hey, still here. That's awesome. Wow, there are actually people watching. You've not run away fleeing like with this weird negative Grey and like what have you done with the real Grey? Bring him back this minute. Regular walks are the shit, says Nerdporial. I already got my steps in tonight. Good for you, mate. I know that. Yeah, I realise you're a big fan of that. You do go out walking a lot. Is it safe? To quote the Marathon Man, Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier. Is it safe? Well, is it? Is it safe? Is what safe? Is it safe to go out for walks where you are? I hope it is. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying that. Let's see what I've missed. Control, not the most uplifting movie, Your Barmy. I know, right? I know, but it's a cracker. It's good. It's a good depiction of the Joy Division years in Manchester. And the fact that they did it in black and white, you know, wow. Great performance by the main actor, whose name at the moment, no idea, who plays Ian Curtis. He's really good in it. Jay is saying that true G's travel in silence, like lasagna. I love it. That's got to be the best comment so far. I'm listening, Grey, and editing, says Jana Banana. Grey, cut your hair, you hippie. I know, this is the longest it's been. I've been so lazy, Nos. I can't be bothered to go out, you know, book an appointment, get my hair cut, pay a ridiculous amount of money. I just don't know. And it's another reason, like, you know, I've been too busy doing nothing on the weekend and trying to escape this crazy world. Let's be honest, says Coper. It really seemed like Laurence Olivier wanted to drill into Dustin Hoffman's teeth, no matter what he said. I thought you were going to make a rude comment then, Coper. It's true. He didn't care what he said. He was still going to drill those teeth. Marathon Man Coper? Yes, Nerdporial. Is it safe? I tell you what, it's a great movie. Dated, of course. 70s movie. It's got one of the most realistic, I think, portrayals of somebody who's been stabbed I've ever seen. I think is it Rod Steiger? If it's not Rod Steiger, it's another one of those Rods that's a bit like Rod Steiger. He plays the brother of Dustin Hoffman's character. And it's not a spoiler because it's right near the beginning, but whatever they did, the makeup they did to him, like, his face, he looks like, you know, he's this close to death's door. He's so, like, white, almost blue in the face, you know, pouring with sweat, like, I think he got a stomach wound, was it? Maybe. I don't know if it was a stabbing or a gunshot wound, but yeah, God, that was realistic. I always think about that. Well, not always. I never forget that when I think about this movie. And of course, Dustin Hoffman running in it, jogging and running for his life. Yeah. Maybe time for a revisit. What do you think? Is it time to go back to Marathon Man? It could be. Let me get back to you guys in the chat. Zach says, I feel pretty good about myself. I'm in Canada. If people think I'm sad, I get mated. Jesus. Chicago, says Nerdporial. Chicago, north side. Yes, it's safe. Godporial is truly a warrior of Chirac. Is Chicago known as Chirac over there, Nos? I didn't know that. Facts, says Salty. Here we go. I need to see Grey start a Deus Ex playthrough, says Nosferatu. I'm going to get there. I'm getting there. One day I will. As I told you, I tried to... what's the word? I tried to... oh my God, I just got distracted. I tried to play it. I got a copy, but it wouldn't work on my system. On Steam, it wouldn't work. I think I've got crap graphics cards or something. Yo, Barmy, you sexy star. I've just seen you gifted the membership. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. I really appreciate that. Yo, Barmy is a star. He alone, single-handedly, is keeping this channel going. I've got to say that. I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Sorry I missed that earlier. I was on a huge waffle. Oh, is it pronounced Chirac? Thanks, Nos. Jay saying the funny that the author who wrote Marathon Man also wrote Princess Bride. No way! Did he? I didn't know that. That's good to know. Zach is saying he's pumped for Shogun if they do it well, which I very much doubt. Oh, God. It looks alright. Hiroyuki Sanada is in it. The awesome guy, you know, the one whose face everyone knows from Japanese movies. Last Samurai, he was in that. He's brilliant in that. He's in it, so he'll be good at least. But it's got that actress from the Monarch Legacy of Monsters series on Apple, which, by the way, I'm still watching. I watched the latest episode, episode 4, last night. It wasn't very good. Even with Kurt Russell in it. It's more like, you know, family drama, but not done well like Godzilla -1. It's the human drama where it's like, oh, boring, get on with the, you know, the plot, tell something exciting, and there are some ridiculous plot decisions, ridiculous moments in there where you're thinking, what were they thinking? Writing this, really ridiculous. And I've heard from people who've seen the next episode that it's going down that path, the WOKE path. It's like, oh yeah, what a surprise. You can't even make a bloody monster series with, you know, with exciting monster scenes in it. I thought it started okay. It was alright, the first episode. The second one, it's pretty good, but, you know, they can't help themselves, can they? Everything Hollywood touches seems to turn to shite. Monarch is slow, says your Barmy. And Dwayne, where are you? Dwayne, good to see you, man. Recently picked up The Shining, or as it was called in one of the Simpsons Halloween special, The Shinning, by, is it Willie, the Scottish groundkeeper. The Shinning. It's a good book. It's good. It's a bit weird. I do like the movie. I like Kubrick's movie, even though Stephen King, whatever happened to him, by the way, Stephen King seemed to hate it. I really like Kubrick's vision. Really good, creepy as fuck movie. But yeah, the book's alright. It's worth a look. It's worth a read. The bit that always pulls me out of the book is when they have the hedge animals. The hedge animals scenes. It's like, what? What? Danny, the little boy, gets attacked by hedges, which transform into hedge animals in the garden of the hotel. Okay, Stephen. Okay. Have another line, Stephen. Keep going. Okay, I've just got Fairmonic saying, okay, but the Kubrick Shining or the good one with the evil garden hoses? That's not what I was just talking about. I was talking about the crazy hedge animals. But if anyone's read the book, you'll know what I mean. It just took me right out of it. The King directed miniseries. Oh, did he direct a miniseries, Nerdporial? I didn't know that. No way. Aye, there's nary an animal that can escape a greased Scotsman, says Fairmonic. Do you like me attempted a Scottish accent? Whenever I try to do Scottish, it becomes like Sean. It ends into Sean Connery, or people trying to do Sean Connery, you know, with do you see the beast? Do you have it in your sight? There we go. The Shining, or The Shinning is better than The Shining. No beer and no TV make Nerdporial something. And Fairmonic saying the only good King book is Dreamcatcher. Oh, really? That was a mad one. I read it. That's the alien one, isn't it? The alien up the toilet one. From what I heard, he wrote that when he was on treatment for that awful car accident, you know, when he was hit by a car and almost killed, and was put on probably some very strong painkillers. Surprise, surprise. Probably messed with his head a little bit. So I liked a lot of Dreamcatcher, but I thought when it was going into the, what's it called, the Memory Palace kind of style scenes from Sherlock Holmes, you know, the idea that he's fighting with himself in his head. That got really weird. That got kind of like, and even for me, who's read Grant Morrison and all sorts of nonsense, yeah, that was a bit weird. It went on a little bit too long. Salem's Lot is very scary, Nerdporial. I agree. It's a cracking King story. Even his first one, Carrie's very good. It's short as well, which makes it even better in my opinion. God, who's got time for 1,200 pages? Not Stephen King's editor, for sure. Yeah, Carrie's good. It's good. It's worth a look. What else do I like? I do quite like... I think I prefer his short stories. Night Shift is great. I was going to make a video review of my blog review of that, but got lost to time and space. Night Shift is cool. Skeleton Crew, another one. His early short story collections are very good, I think. But hey, that's just me. Drinking orange juice after brushing teeth over watching the Shining miniseries, says Cobra Ex Machina. And Jay recommends Revival. Revival was a good, newer King book. Very dark ending, apparently. I've heard that, is it Mr. Mercedes? They're supposed to be quite good. I don't know, I haven't read them. I did read his latest one, well, his last latest one. What was it called? Fairy Tale. That was all right. That wasn't bad. It was too long, though. Dude, reread Gemstones of Shannara, says Salty. Salty is spreading the love for the Swords of Shannara series recently. He's got back into those, and good for him. One of the good things to come out of the awful butchering of Wheel of Time, yeah, for season 2, it sent Salty back to the past for many different things. One thing being the Shannara books, but I've got on a confession, Salty. I've only ever tried to read one, and I gave up halfway through. I know, right? I know, kill me. I can't tell you the name. I think it might be the Scions or Scions, S-C-I-O-N-S, Scions, how you pronounce it, of Shannara. And the only reason I picked that up, I got it secondhand, is because it was in that movie with Christian Bale about the, oh God, what is it? One of the financial, breakdown movies. Do you know what I'm talking about? Jesus, not very good description, is it? That one with Christian Bale, he's like a financial guy in it. Could be anything. Oh, God. Napoleon's saying he liked the first 4. 5 was basically 7 Samurai, and 7 the ending Sai. Oh, but you're talking about Dark Tower, are you, Napoleon? Not Sword of Shannara. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Where are we? Where's Nosferatu? Shall I remove Nosferatu's wrench? Shall I make a poll in the chat? What shall I do? Engage with the audience. Start a poll. Shall? Not only Nos, but Zax as well. Nos and Zax's wrenches. Yes, no. I've remembered how to do a poll. God, it's been years since I did one of those. Let's see how it goes. Please vote. Let me know. They've calmed down now, but Zax and Nosferatu were going for it before. They were killing people. They were like knocking people out. And did you know, have you heard, by the way, I've not looked into it, but there's an option now when I put this on. In the live chat, it said, by the way, you can make your timeouts. I don't know if it's longer, shorter, mess about. So the YouTube is adding options to, time people out more. Doesn't bode well for the future, does it? It doesn't bode well. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Oh my God. Where are we? Okay. The message deleted by Zax. Cobra, what was it? What did you put? Ah, dear me. Can't find Zax in the live chat, but he's there. He's lurking. He's lurking. Okay, 62 yes at the moment. I'll give it another few minutes. So this will probably send Nos to Tim's live stream if he's doing it, if he's on the live stream. There we go. Absolute power. Absolute power. I'm not giving anyone wrenches. Only Nerdporo gets a wrench and Salty because they don't abuse their privileges. This is crazy. Nos having a wrench is beautiful and is both beautiful and disturbing, says Salty. It's true. And Nerdporo, to answer the Sword of Shannara question, it was a fun Lord of the Rings clone with some cool moments. And Salty replies with, perhaps in some elements, but rereading it is its own thing. Perhaps that desperately needed a much better editor. That's what I've heard, Salty. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's why I gave up reading. It was really like, whoa, you know, a bit too long. There's a good story there, just buried in exposition. Grey, why am I being punished, says Nosferatu? Because I forgive Nosferatu, but I don't forget. I'm famous for that. I don't know if you know that. Everyone who knows me, all my long-time friends, all 1.5 of them, they know Grey forgives but never forgets. I've been struggling through portions of the Shadow Rising. Wheel of Time, says Noporial. That's why I'm taking forever with this one. Do you know what, Noporial? I still haven't finished the Dragon Reborn. I'm like 85%. I just like, oh god. I think the Amazon serial just put me off Wheel of Time. I know. Heresy. I know, Salty. The books are better, but the book is so much better than that ridiculous joke of an adaptation in huge quotation marks. Gave Nos back his damn wrench. No, because he's sharing videos which I daren't click. It could take me to that 2 Girls 1 Cup. I just don't trust Nos, even though I love him. Can't trust him. Because I forgive, but never forget. In case you didn't know that. Oh dear. Grey Spanner me, says Copa. Yeah, but Copa, the unlimited power, what would you do with it? I was going to give a wrench to Jana, but she says she hates the Beatles and they're overrated, so sorry. That's it. Fear Monarch, the original source, better than an adaptation? No way. No way, right? Unbelievable. Oh god, this is cool. How we're doing? We've been going for 46 minutes of absolute waffle nonsense. Zax is downvoted the stream, by the way. And I've lost a member. Oh no, I've lost a member. I've lost a subscriber and it's downvoted. I'll tell you what's been weird though, being serious for a minute, and I'm only messing about, guys. You know me. And at the moment, it's 73% yes, by the way. End poll. I'm going to end it. Probably only like 3 votes. But we'll see. No, it was 11. 11 votes. 72 yes, 27 no. John and Banana's upset. I don't want your damn wrench, says John. You can keep your damn wrench. Oh God, keep your cop hands off me. Jesus, we have a savage chat tonight. The only people I trust anymore are Salty and Nerdporial. That's it. And Fear Monarch, of course. Copa, I just don't know, because Copa, you never know what you're going to get. Like a box of chocolates with Copa. You never know what you're going to get. Love you, Grey. I wish somebody did. I really do. Okay, stop being gay. Get back to the screen. It's time for another clip. Now, this is listed as the Rocky Horror clip, but it isn't. Don't worry. Purple Valkyrie, who I know he's not watching because it's ridiculous o'clock in the UK, but she got this on my last stream. She got the reference. Salty never did. He never replied if he did. What is this show, and why haven't you watched it? It's on YouTube for free.
Your lord and master is getting up. On the wrong side of the bed.
Wow, just seeing how far back the stream is. That's interesting. That's about 10-15 seconds, isn't it? Oh God, am I getting warnings and stuff? I probably am. I was worried I was going to get warnings for... You know, if you do an EFAP, if you play another YouTuber's like video or stream or something, like, you don't get in trouble for that, do you? I don't know how these things work, you know, I'm an idiot. You know, just showing a little bit of the Chris Gore, the film threat one, they won't mind that, will they? Especially because I'm like raving about it and saying, you know, thank God, you know, someone who's seen it and gets the movie. Right, yeah. You don't get in trouble for that, do you? No? Answers on a postcard. 2, Grey's Wacky Backy Teahouse. Okay, you need to credit the clip in your description and tag him. Thanks, Salty. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but yeah, okay, I will do that after it's done. Nice one. Hey, Jacob, great to see you. How are you? Are you surviving in the crazy world? Are you looking for a positive Grey? You're not going to get him tonight. No, you're not. You're going to get a rare angry at the world grey. I'm not angry at the world, I'm just angry at Nosferatu and Zax. Good night, Jana. Take it easy. Chris wouldn't care, says your Barmy. I didn't think he would. Grey, like every trustworthy person says, you can trust me. Trust? Who do you trust? I'm giving away free money. But where is the Batman? He's at home, washing his tights. Zax, are you good? Are you angry with me, Zax? I think Zax has never forgiven me for calling him a Canadian Mountie in a joke. It was meant as a compliment. I'm just jealous of your huge, huge shoulders, your big girth, your big build, I say, your big build, and those gorgeous check shirts you never wear, those flannel check shirts that lumberjacks love to wear. I'm speaking, my knowledge of lumberjacks, especially Canadian lumberjacks, comes from Monty Python. So don't have a go at me. Monty Python would not exaggerate, would they? You know, what they do in their sketches is completely 100% true and accurate, right? Come on. Spare a shekel for an ex-leper. I'm not talking to Gray, says Zax. Please tell him Jacob. Jacob saying, Gray, Zax says he's not talking to you. Oh man, don't you miss those days, those playground fight days, like, or classroom days of school? Yeah. Nosferatu's told me to tell you that he's not talking to you anymore, and he hates your guts. Oh God, I need a drink. But I've only got coffee. I've got coffee and water. Oh, did you say water? Yes, we say water over here. Or you can say water. A nice glass of water. We need to send Gray some plaid flannel shirts. I know, it's true, Salty. I only ever wear the same thing because everything else I wear on stream looks like crap. It's this, where are we? What's it called? Polar neck sweater. I only wear it for Nos as well. I'm such a simp for Nosferatu. Listen to me. Dead Man Don't Wear Plaid. Is that the movie? Steve Martin. Pertwee is brilliant. Ah dear. Where are we? Gray's the bright centre of the universe. I thought I was a planet it's farthest from. The Steve Jobs turtleneck, says Jay. Yes! Jay, by the way, great to see you in the chat. And your Barmy, Zax Fair Monarch, everybody who's a member, Copa who's a fake member, it's not a real member. Copa, thank you so much. I love you all. Shout out to the members. Salty Travelling Seas there, Nerdporial Lifeform. You guys are amazing. It's cool. Isn't it cool, this little community, which you can't say, but I don't care. And we've got it on YouTube. I love it. And I really do appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. Absolutely. Shout out to Purple Valkyrie as well. Shout out to the people who aren't here in the chat. My brother, Mick Cope, I hope he's doing all right. Not heard from him recently. I do need to get in contact. So, yeah. Great to see you all. Wow. I'm going to start tearing up in a minute. You're going to see the emotional side of Gray. I'm going to turn into a character in a Japanese Godzilla movie and start really over-exaggerating my emotions after longer moments of stoicness to suddenly start screaming, you know, no. Yeah, right. Noporial, please tell Jacob to tell Gray that I'm not impressed by his Godzilla numbers. Zax. Hey, look, I know, right? I know. It's impressive for me. But even like with my fantastic numbers on those two videos, there were other videos at the same time just flying out there. 100,000 views. God, imagine what it's like. What it feels like to get over 100,000 views on a video. Zax knows that. How dare you, Zax? So yeah, that must be amazing. Oh my God. But hey, it doesn't matter, does it? It's not the number that counts, it's the quality of the content. That's why you come here, isn't it? The quality of the content. Oh God. The sphere of toxicity, I call it, says Nerdporial. Oh, God, you guys are amazing. He's going to sound like Spider-Man in the 2000s cartoon where he was just yelling all the time. Was he? I haven't seen those. Okay. It's time for some... I need to cheer up, so I want to share this with you. Look at this. Look at this. Plugging a Japanese sweet. It's a chocolate with orange peel or essence of orange in the middle. Oh my God, I love the chocolate and orange combination. Well, this is so Japan. Look how small these are. Look at the size of them. They're tiny. Not salty chocolate balls, but chocolate orange mini balls. Live on stream, Gray eating tiny chocolate balls with orange inside. Being serious for a minute, don't you just love the design? Even the package is small in Japan. Small package. Just saying. 654 milligrams of Coke. Oh, no, sorry. Of, Jesus, trying to read katakana. Katakana is part of the Japanese writing script. There's katakana, hiragana, and kanji. Cacao polyphenol. Cacao polyphenol. Phenol, whatever. 654 milligrams? That sounds a lot. Doesn't it? Orange peel, chocolate drops. That's my commercial over for the stream. I will be getting a check in the mail from, what's the company? Meiji. It's Meiji. One of the most famous chocolate companies or sweet companies in Japan. Just let you know. I'll be getting my 5 yen in the post. Looking forward to that. Oh, actually, it does feel good. I've got a boost from there. Let me get back to you. I'm still waiting for Nosferatu to send me some edibles, by the way. But no, you better not. I'll have to set up a PO box for that. Don't send them to my house, whatever you do. Not to this address. Salty, can you tell Cobra to tell Grey that he should be the fake little platoon and confront Tim? I can't do it. I'm too nice. Yeah, right. I know. Grey sounds identical to Platoon and Mauler. Us Brits, we all sound the same. I wish I did sound as good as what's the word? As great as Mauler sounds, and I wish I sounded as posh as Little Platoon sounds. Actually, it's a deal, Brian. Chef's big black salty balls. Grey sold out doing an ad read for his small chocolate balls. At Copatel, Grey and Zach says that he should cosplay Little Platoon and beat up Tim. Japanese goods always come in a Ziploc bag or a disposable cup. I want to go to the Mitsuya market tomorrow, Grey. That's what she said, Grey. I can't do it. It starts sounding really camp when I try and do a posh voice, posh accent. What did you think? Was that good? Was that turning you on? It's a shame Jana's not still here. Jana's in her pajamas and she's gone to bed. I'll send you a cart if you can get the vape for it, says Fearmonic. Wink! No, I just want some chocolates or some gummies. What are they called in... I've forgotten the English word. Oh my God. In Japan they call them gummies. Gummy drops, gummy bears. Gummies. Grey's feeling cocky, says Zax, because his precious Doctor Who is back with his saviour. RSTD, part 2, RTD squared. Do you know what? Being serious for a moment, Zax, on Doctor Who, I did watch the episode, pirated it. Never mind all the nonsense or the virtue and agenda. It just sucked. It was really poor storytelling, really poorly written, terrible acting by most of the cast, even Tennant at times, and Tate, she was pretty bad. That new character, Rose, couldn't act to save his life. Oh my God, how wooden was that? But it was full of plot holes, and they had the sonic screwdriver just being a magic wand to do absolutely anything now. They crapped on a really good story from the original Tennant series, and it just didn't make any sense. It was like, we solved the problem with magic and rainbows. And the scene where you saw was it trenches of lava, the cracks in London, the streets of London, reversing and like healing up. I was laughing at that point. I wasn't even angry anymore. I didn't get angry, by the way. Doctor Who didn't make me angry because I already know it's dead. We've got years and years of really good stuff, really good content. Cheap and clunky and cheesy and, yeah, you know, rubber costumes, but I'd watch that any day over this new stuff. But yeah, it was just terrible. It was a really poorly written story, and the fact that they made that the opening, the first special, to supposedly win new viewers and get the old fans back, which they don't want, by the way, of course. Obvious, right? The fact that they released it first is unbelievable. It almost feels like of course they don't care, but they really don't care about success. It really is just about, you know, hammering you over the head with a message and a big FU to any original fans. And any valid criticism like I'm giving you, I'm not talking about the woke nonsense. Any valid criticism just gets written off as a PHOBE, a phobe, you know, yeah, whatever. So that's why I've not bothered talking about it really, not bothered making a video. You know, there's like 2,000 million videos on it, so what's one more going to do? But yeah, it just sucked. Let me check. What are you seeing in the chat? Gray, Copa says he needs you to weave something for his loose bottom hole. No, that's Nosferatu, isn't it? I think Nosferatu's gone, by the way. He's really angry. He's gone. He's gone off in a huff. You pussy. I forgive, but I never forget. Gray, who is your favourite Doctor? Tom Baker, and I know everyone says that, but I was born in 73. He's the first Doctor I saw on screen. I thought he was amazing. He was like, you know, a huge bundle of charisma. Who can forget that smile? He was completely bonkers. He appealed to, you know, the innocence, the wonder of children. I'm being serious here. Don't take my words out of context. You know, he was so popular with the kids because he had that kind of childish, you know, there was something about him, wasn't there, Tom Baker? Didn't he write, wasn't his memoir something like, yes, I am an alien, or I don't know, no, it was something weird like that. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he was a completely individual person as a character anyway, an actor, and he was playing Tom Baker as Doctor Who, and it was fantastic. So yeah, he's my favourite. I wasn't the biggest fan of Peter Davison. Then Colin Baker I like for some reason. I don't know why, but I really enjoyed him. And I wasn't keen on Sylvester McCoy to start with, but I got into him later. And then Christopher Eccleston, yeah, I thought he was okay. David Tennant, I think he's overrated. Everyone raves about him. Matt Smith really won me over. And then, I know I'm missing out the original ones, I know, but then I love Peter Capaldi, but I've always liked him as an actor. Local Hero, if you've never seen that, Local Hero, the movie. That's a huge recommend. Peter Capaldi's in that, very, very young, by the way. It's an awesome movie. Set in Scotland, little known, Local Hero. Do check it out. So, John Pertwee was before my time. Troughton, of course. Jesus, forgetting William Hartnell, forgetting his name. So yeah, I miss them. That's all, the only reason. But I have seen some of the Pertwee stories on VHS back in the day. So yeah, I liked him. He's cool. He was like a dashing 007 style Doctor Who. Oh, Zax. Jesus, Zax, that's a Nosferatu comment. Jeez, I can't even read that out. Oh my God. I know you're joking, but Jesus, man. That's dark. What's next? Grey drops wisdom and facts, says Salty. Fuck. Jesus. Kind of lost my my train of thought. Cobra saying, Napoleon, please tell Grey to tell Zax he's the bear olive branch is not going to work and that the damage has been done. Napoleon asking, how does it make you feel when you're a fan of something for years, but when they change stuff and won't hear you when you voice criticism? Unforgivable, but I think they even want the reaction. And was it Dave Cullen? Dave Cullen made a really good video about it. I don't think he even did a review, or his review was basically saying, just walk away. Walk away. They want, or maybe Russell Davies, maybe he, the BBC, Disney, I think they want this reaction because it gets talked about, you know, and it gets clicks. It'll get views because of this. You know, people's huge freaking out reaction about how crap and how unsubtle it was, and how, you know, message heavy, hammering over the head it was. They can deflect any valid criticism by just writing you off as one of those people. So what's the point? What's the point in like making a review? Salty, can tell you all about that, right? Jesus, Salty, and respect to you, Salty, mate, for dealing with all those crazy comments you got. They make my Matrix comments look like, you know, love letters, don't they? And Copa as well. Copa's comments on his Scott Pilgrim review. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It makes me look like a bloody amateur, doesn't it? Where are we? Modern writing wants to appeal to the innocence of children as well, says Yorobami. Oh God. I don't want to go down that road. Speaking of that, Yorobami, you know, that's part of what's been hitting me with the negativity recently. It's coming on Twitter. I'm getting like posts are being recommended. It's like, Jesus Christ, if half the things they're saying actually happen, what can we do? How can we stop it? How do you fight that? You know what I mean? I'm not going to name things because you can't talk about this kind of thing on YouTube, but you know, Jesus, I know a lot of it probably is exaggerated, but if it's even partly true, fuck. Scary shit, man. Scary shit. I'm showing my naivety, my innocence. I know, you know, I had no idea that side of the world existed, like, until many years ago when I had my supposed red pill moment and thought the world was going to end around 2012. You know, do you remember that old story about, was it Planet X or Nibiru was going to come? You couldn't see it because it was coming towards us from in front of the sun, so you couldn't see it, and it was going to like not hit the earth, but it was going to shift the poles. It's going to be a pole shift, and everything was going to end. What a joke! I actually believed that for a while. God, and then, you know, I think it all began with UFO videos on YouTube as well back in the day, and then Loose Change. Remember that video? I know you can't really talk about New York anymore, can you? But there we go. Yeah, Zax, I agree with the big YouTubers. Don't know when I said that. Just liked that Chris Gore said he enjoyed Godzilla. Dude, it's not just you, says Salty. Tell you, man, Twitter, it's amazing. Like, I still call it Twitter now, but it's amazing that half the stuff still gets shown on that. Don't you think? One thing that made me laugh the other day was there was a David Icke, who's back on there now, of course. David Icke post saying that Elon Musk is not who you think he is. He's not this like big savior. He's working with them all. You know, he's just part of the plan. And all this. Oh, fucking hell. Who can you trust? You can't trust anybody. The thing is just not to trust, is there? Just take it all with a pinch of salt. Don't let it get you down. That's what I'm learning to do. Again, for the God knows how many times. Focus on something good instead. Go outside. Go for a walk. Go into the, go hiking in the mountains. Go by the sea. Go to a lake. Unplug and just relax for a little bit. Jay saying trust the violence. Oh my God. Dwayne, that's what I did. Walked away from shitty content. I blocked the F out of all my ads and any Soros BS, says Salty. Oh, God, yeah, though. Yeah, Naporial. Did Dave Cullen like Picard? Season 3. I wasn't even subscribed to him, but it just popped up on my stream because I've been watching a few Doctor Who things, and I thought his take was pretty good. It was like, don't feed the flames, don't give them what they want. But if you don't, how does anything change? Do we change things by stop watching it, by not giving you money, by watching it through other means? I guess that's the only way, isn't it? Can we change it by, should we still make these reviews? Should we still talk about it? Should we have discussions about this kind of thing? Or is it all pointless? That's how it feels. Okay, missing it. Okay, let's get back to the stream. Here we go. It's time for another clip. Or I think I've played all my clips. Oh my god. Shall I get a new clip sorted? Yes. Oh, I've not played Akira yet. Akira! This is for my all Akira fans out there. Here we go. Just when you thought the stream was getting too depressing. Clipped with YouTube's audio library, free music by the way, not the soundtrack. I'd love to play the soundtrack, but you can't. Otherwise, you just get killed. And it's not really YouTube, is it? I talk about that. People blame YouTube, but it's the music publishers. That live stream, that weird Wakizashi pirate radio stream that was somehow uploaded onto my channel a couple of weeks back. That's now completely blocked. You know, you can't. Nobody can see it. I left it up because I was hoping like people could actually see and listen. Don't care about the copyright claims and stuff, but now it's gone. It's gone. What a shame. Okay, there was one more thing I was going to talk about. So in reply to the darkness, I wrote a follow-up post this morning, and it's only short. Here we go. Let me just sort this out and share my screen one more time. A good way to fight the darkness. Watch Twin Peaks? No, I'm joking. It's a great quote from a great series, the original Twin Peaks. I'm still not sure about the return yet. I'm not finished watching it yet, but God, that's out there, shall we say. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present, said Agent Cooper to Sheriff Harry S. Truman. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen. It could be a new shirt, a plaid flannel shirt, Zax, if you're still there, or a polo neck sweater, Nos, even though I know you've gone. It could be a cat nap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good hot black coffee. It could be a tangerine, a mikan, as they say in Japan, a piece of chocolate, a small chocolate ball with orange inside it. But yeah, first off, I want to say thank you to everybody for the support and the helpful comments and great advice on my recent post, Keep Calm and Carry On. One of the comments on the post was talking about this Book of Delight. It's about the project to write about something good, something positive, a delight you experience once a day. Although the author didn't manage it for every day, just like 2 or 3 times a week, I think. I haven't read the book yet, but it gave me the idea to write some blog posts about a good thing that happens on a random day. And this is my first one. This happened on Friday, which is still Friday in the States, I think, just about, but this was yesterday in Japan, Friday morning. I was driving up to one of the elementary schools I work at. I'd been listening to a comics podcast during the drive in the car, but I decided to change and I put on a CD to listen to some music. Yes, people still listen to CDs in their cars. Incredible, right? Even more incredible is this CD was a recent purchase by Gray. It was the new version, the 2023 edition of The Beatles. Shout out to Jana. The Beatles, 1962 to 1966, also known as the Red Album. What you say? People still buy CDs as well as listen to them? Wow, what a crazy world we live in. But here's the moment, here's the positivity. The track Day Tripper came on, and the sound of that opening guitar was so deep and so rich that I got chills of pleasure. I literally got chills at the back of my spine. The hair on the back of my neck was standing up. This feeling continued when the bass kicked in and then the percussion a few moments later. The song sounded so fresh, yet it was almost 60 years old. I got to school and I felt really good. That old Beatles song from 60 years ago, it gave me a much needed injection of positivity. Crazy, right? But yeah, it's been, I think, remastered, of course, yet again, by, I think his name is Giles, George Martin's son, Giles Martin. They've remastered it, they've cleaned it up yet again. It sounds fantastic. It sounds so good. It's such a rich, deep sound. I wish I could play it now, but I'm not going to risk the ridiculousness of EMI or the music companies, whatever, Apple. So good. And you know what? Also, I was also thinking like, Ticket to Ride. It's not. Sorry, Day Tripper. I love Ticket to Ride as well. Day Tripper is not that famous, but it almost sounded like an early heavy rock song, almost hints of metal in it. Just the sound of that guitar, it sounded amazing. Now you got to go after this stream, or even right now, go and play that song, play it. I can drop a link to, where are we? On the YouTube Music page with the song on it. But yeah, just listen to it on headphones if you do. Oh, those opening moments, fantastic. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Make grey big again. Let me drop the link in the chat while I do that. Okay, back to YouTube Studio. Does this work if I drop the link? Paste. It's a link to the music YouTube. So YouTube Music, yeah, page. And it's just that track. But yeah, after this stream, do have a listen to it. It sounds amazing. Okay, back to you guys. Zax is not talking to me. I knew it. Gray, the forcing mid-show ads. I know. Is it the third time you got one? I've got it on the lowest setting as well. You can choose 3 settings. Did you know? People who aren't YouTubers out there. It's like low, balanced, and heavy or something. Or is it heavy or like ridiculous? Which is what I think Nerdrotic has on. All the money they make, those huge channels, from super chats and memberships, and they have the ads on the highest setting possible. Well, they did last time I checked, but I do have premium, so I don't get ads. I pay for YouTube Premium, can you believe it? What an idiot. I know, right? But the main reason for that is so I can download stuff and listen to it in the car. I listen to a lot of audio books from YouTube, a lot of podcasts, a lot of your streams I listen to on the way to work and back. I have a 30-minute drive each way, so it's cool. I get an hour of listening. And I used to listen to a lot more music, but these days it's a lot of podcasts and YouTube. You listen to Now and Then? Yes, I have, Fearmonic. I listen to the new track, Now and Then. Well, the old new track. I like it. It's very sentimental. Salty's got a ton of CDs in his truck. Physical media is not going to be around much longer. Well, I've kept hold of most of mine, Salty. I've got most of my CDs. We brought a lot over with us when we moved over. And I sold a load as well. Used to work in HMV, so I had a ridiculous amount of CDs. Staff discount. But yeah, I do have them and I'm keeping them. Keep your physical media. The riff in Day Tripper sort of begot riffs like Paperback Rider. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, good point. It's a simple riff, and Paperback Rider is another one. That's pretty heavy, isn't it, when it gets going? So good. The re-release of the Red album, the Beatles, it's really, really good, but I was disappointed they didn't include Rain. Rain's a great B-side. It's a John Lennon track and a little bit psychedelic. Big fan of that. But apparently it was Paul McCartney who selected the tracks. I don't know if Ringo was involved, but there's only Paul and Ringo left. So it is kind of Paul heavy, his Paul song heavy focus on that. So that's a bit like, oh, come on, man. You could have included that. It's a really good track, but just being a bit picky. I don't know. Really, Zax, the guy who killed John Lennon didn't even go to jail. Are you serious? Wasn't it Mark Chapman, or is it one of those conspiracies that he didn't actually kill him? The man who went to jail was not the one who shot him. Was it the CIA? Was it the FBI? Was it Yoko Ono's hired assassin to get rid of him because he was just so much better and smarter than her? Link Ray Rumble is around the same time and legitimately early heavy metal sound, says Fearmonic. Link Ray Rumble. I need to check that. Thanks. I'm not sure. Outrage Channels, says Fearmonic. Trying to milk the most profit from their channels. You're just throwing curveballs, Gray. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, fair enough, milk the system. I actually just dumped a ton of my collection, said Fearmonic. I had close to 7,000 and needed to clear up space for comics. And Salty saying, Ringo was banging Barbara back 24/7. Can you blame him? No. If you like John Lennon's solo stuff, I'm going to assume your life is a shambles. It's not a solo track. It's one of the Beatles tracks. It's not that well known, but it's called Rain. Check it out. It was on the B-Sides album, I think, before this, but I was hoping they'd include it on the new release, the new kind of re-release of this, Copa, but they didn't. What a shame. What a shame. Okay, how we're doing? I was going to wrap things up soon, but yeah, so that was it. That was my advice is give yourself a little present once a day, and it can be anything. You know, a nice cup of coffee, a nice nap by the fire if you've got one. Put up the Christmas tree. That'll make you feel better if you've got one. Go for a walk. Watch an old classic episode of Doctor Who. Tom Baker, John Pertwee, even Patrick Troughton, William Hartnell. The early stuff is still pretty good. Some of them. There's some gems in there. What else could we do? Read a good book. Listen to an audio book. Put some music on. Write a blog post. No, that's so 2009. I know. Zax, what you like? You madman. Where's Copa? I'm going to give Copa revenge. There we go, before we finish. It's more of a Christmas shrub. It's all I've got. So it looks smaller than it is because it's far away. It's far away, the distance. If I stand up, you can see next to it. Where are we? It's not real. I know, it's a fake, it's an artificial tree. They don't really do them over here in Japan. I miss the scent of a real fresh pine tree, a Christmas pine tree. Another thing I miss about home. Don't mock me, Charlie Brown tree, salty. Thanks for your mic. It's me-sized. Copa saying read Blood Meridian. I will, Copa. I'll get back to it. I'm still on Children of Dune, and it's awesome. It's so good, guys and girls. Really recommend it. Do you know what I'm going to make? I'm going to make everyone a moderator from now on. Let's make everybody a moderator, and then nobody is one. Is that right? Is that how it works? Where are we up to? Happiness. 9 of Cups. Carry it around with me. Never know. It might rub off. It might rub off on negative grey. Oh, here's a great opening line just randomly. I'm on page 286 of the Penguin Random House Ace paperback copy, and the line that just caught my eye. Where was it? I've lost it now. Oh my God, he's lost it. He was suddenly angry with her denseness. He was suddenly angry with her denseness. Take my word for it, Mother. The signs are there. I'll explain later. I'm afraid I must agree, Titanic said. When Sisha lapsed into hurt silence, how dared they push her out of the council like this? How dare they? As though she were some light-headed fancy woman with no... We mustn't forget that Idaho was once a Gola, Faradin said. The Tlaxlu... Can't even pronounce half these words. He glanced sidelong at Titanic. Teacanik, it could be. It is... They don't really have chapter numbers. It's Children of Dune. And it's God knows what number. I say it starts on page 284. The opening quote is this. Listen to this. Governments, if they endure, always tend increasingly toward aristocratic forms. No government in history has been known to evade this pattern. And as the aristocracy develops, government tends more and more to act exclusively in the interests of the ruling class. Whether that class be hereditary royalty, oligarchs of financial empires, or entrenched bureaucracy. A quote from Politics as Repeat Phenomenon, Bene Gesserit Training Manual. Now this is Frank Herbert writing that in 1981. The original edition was published. 1981, Frank Herbert speaking truth about governments. Like George Orwell writing in 1948 about 1984. Is that how it works? That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so we're still enjoying that. I know I'm such a slow reader. I spend too much time making YouTube videos, listening to YouTube videos, watching some streaming services, wasting my time, but then going out for walks, driving out to the sea, walking down by the sea, freezing cold, but enjoying the fresh air. So yeah, I used to be a reader as well, and I'm so slow. And shout out to Blair de Blair. How are you doing, Blair? Great to see you. Are you Genki? Jacob's still here. Good to see you. As long as it's not a kamikaze tree. Kamikaze? Oh my god. Nane's in the chat too. How you doing, man? How can you be suddenly angry with someone's denseness? If you know they're dense, it's more like a stone in the show, right? Yeah. I'm not even sure the characters they're talking about, but it's very minor background characters. It's a chapter, well, part of a chapter just started, but I've got back into it after initially saying that Children of Doom was very, very boring. I've got into it now. I've got into the court intrigue. I've got into the theories that possibly Paul Muad'Dib Atreides is not actually dead. Possibly. This is not a spoiler because it's not clear if he is or isn't. It's never made clear. Is he this weird prophet, this blind prophet who's come in from the desert? Is that actually Paul or is it not? I've not found out yet. I don't think maybe you'll ever find out, but it's really, really good. It's really, really good. The twins, the children of Paul and Cheney, they're the focus of it, of course, children of Dune. And it's fascinating. Fascinating. Ahead of its time. Always good to be here, says Nay. Recently got some great news. Life is not too shabby. Thanks for asking, Gray. And you? You missed it, Nay. You missed it. The opening of the stream was the fighting the negativity, fighting the darkness, fighting the malaise of the world. So yeah, but I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. Mostly because of all this amazing support in the chat. Zax, you dodged a major bullet, dude. Lol, thanks, Gray, says Copa. You're welcome, mate. Technocrats now, says Salty. One word, says Blair. Nighthawks, 1981. Cobra is the mind killer, says Jacob. Nice, I like the quote, Jacob. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is little death. And that's how it goes, isn't it? Should we get that before we finish? That is an awesome quote. I want to read it properly. Fear is the fear is the mind killer mantra. The Litany Against Fear, it's called officially. This is from Dune Wiki. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. The version of the litany used in the time of Paul Muad'Dib was believed to have originated with the Bene Gesserit, who themselves faced great dangers during their extensive training. And the origin says here, the phrase derives from William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, the play. Here's the quote. A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but once. It seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. My God, I completely butchered that. I can't read it. Is it in iambic pentameter? A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but was. No, not really. It's almost there. A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but once. It seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Very cool. The litany has also appeared in other non-Dune related media. For instance, it was frequently recited by Peter Puppy, a supporting character in Earthworm Jim, the animated series based on the video game of the same name, and it appears as an Easter egg in a learning skill challenge strategy game, Crusader Kings 3. The litany is also used by Australian music artist Zany Sparks in 2 songs of her 2018 EP, 8, recited in full in Litany Against Fear and referenced in Fear is the Mind Killer. Fight the fear, folks. Fight the fear. You can do it. We can do it. Because there is no fear. Okay, going to wrap things up. How are we doing for time? I forgot to check on the page. I've been going for 1 hour 29, so 1 hour 30. It's a great time to finish. Thank you so much for watching this far. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your hate, for your dislikes. No, I'm joking. That's right, one of the weird rambles I was on before, I forgot to say. I'm not sure who it is, but pretty much all my live streams these days get at least one dislike. How can you dislike me? If it's an ironic dislike, I don't care, but come on, man. It's me. Hey, it's me, to quote Han Solo. Later Grey, says Blair. Good night, good health, God bless you. The coward dies 1,000 times is Shakespeare, isn't it? Yes, nay, you got it, before I went on about that. Fear is the opposite of love, not hate, I agree. Is it Nos disliking me? Yeah, it probably is. It's Nos and now it's Zax as well. I'm sure Zax is doing it. So, I don't mind, guys, if you're just joking. You take care. Let me get out of here. Where's the closer? Thank you to the members. Thank you for people watching on the replay. I hugely appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in a future video. This is Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for the day. Matane.